All right, man. Torture Talk After Hours. So, BUN B is talking to Shannon Sharpe about this whole Pusha T and Travis Scott situation. And yeah, man, we're gonna get into that. Bad. Let's get it. All right, man. So let's go, man. Torture Talk After Hours. Let's get it.
Conversation about Pusha many years ago with a
Hello, it's your favorite sports unk here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Pusha T hasn't released music since 2018, and he has people constantly wondering who may get this. And this time, it's Travis Scott, the latest target on his new clip single, So Be It. Pusha was upset that Travis previewed his album Utopia to Pharrell in Paris with clips and attendance, but didn't play Drake's verse on Meltdown, a song that Drake taunts Pharrell and Pusha. Bun, I don't know if you've been...
Um, how do I feel about this? I'll be honest with y'all. That's some slimy shit. I thought about it, and I thought that it wasn't a big of a deal, but then I thought about it. It really is some slimy shit for you to do. Because you think about it, right? If you come and play some music for me, but you don't play the song, or even the verse, you don't play the verse where a dude is dissing me and then you release the music with him dissing me. I think that that's corny. That's corny. That's real corny. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why Pusha felt some type of way. I can understand. Because I would have too, now that I think about it.
A part of any beef. I think you have been a little part, a little something, a little something.
yeah, a little something.
So where are you on Pusha?
Pusha's a dangerous man. I had a conversation about Pusha many years ago with a very good friend and mentor of mine, Clark Kent. And Clark Kent was
DJ Clark Kent.
Clark Kent told me this was in the beginning of the Pusha and Drake beef. And I was like, this is going to be interesting. He said, yeah, but not like people think it's going to be interesting because this dude operates in a space where he really don't have nothing to lose. And I didn't really understand.
That's a dangerous man.
I didn't really understand it at the time. And it took me a while to really grasp what he meant when he said it. Because I don't typically get in these things, right? But I understand how confrontation works. And you try to avoid at all costs a man with nothing to lose. As entertainers,
correct,
we're mostly beholden to the public. Most of us make more money on touring, selling merchandise and those type of things. And in order to really capitalize off of that, you have to be with high standing and high favor with the public.
You got to be liked.
A rich dude, that a man that makes his money outside of music doesn't have to worry about that in that way.
That's a fact. I think that when you are a rapper who basically don't really care about, this is the reason why certain artists has became so popular so fast off of how they move. Pusha T, to me, is, and it's gonna sound crazy, in another dimension, he's Kendrick. He's just a different version of Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, he's just a different version. Everything he stands for, everything he does, in a way, reminds me of what Kendrick Lamar would be in a different universe. You know what I'm saying? I think Pusha T knows that he's a very, very, very good lyricist. But see, the thing is, I'm not saying he's the best lyricist. He's a good lyricist. But the issue that people will run into with him is he's an effective lyricist. See, there's a difference between Lupe battling Pusha T. Now, see, Pusha T, even though people say, oh, Lupe is kill him, bro. Lupe, better rapper, da 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 da. sometimes it's not about lyrics. It's not about how you put words together. It's sometimes about how effective you are on what you say. When he said to Drake, "You are hiding a child," I'm actually going to do a reaction to that video, to that song, because I never did a reaction to it. You are hiding a child. He literally said that. When he put that out there, whatever Drake had said, it doesn't matter. I don't care how smooth you are with the bars. And I don't mean to compare Lupe and Drake, but I'm just saying, Drake was at that time. Duppy Freestyle was very good. I think Duppy Freestyle might have been the best lyrically out of all of those. You know what I'm saying? But I think what Pusha T did was he put it out there, and I think a lot of rappers, they can't do that. They cannot do that. They can't. They are incapable of, how would I say this? They're incapable of putting something that's so easy to it's so easy to recognize or remember or to relate to. It's so easy to relate to. You are hiding a child. That, what else can Drake say after that? What can he say? You can't get around that bar. And I think that's why he's very dangerous. Kendrick is the same way. He does the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick does the same thing. So this is why he's dangerous.
Pusha T is not beholden to the public in the way that a lot of the rest of us are. He operates in a space where, regardless of whether his albums go platinum or double platinum like that, he's going to eat very well. As long as Pharrell eating, he's going to eat. So that's not a threat. They don't do friends anyway. So rubbing people the wrong way is not a problem. They're prepared to not be in favor. That's a dangerous man.
That's 100% facts. I didn't even think about it like that. They're not okay. They're okay with you not being their friends. They're okay with not being liked. They're okay with you just disagreeing. They're prepared for all that. That right there is 100% facts. That's a fact. I think a lot of people don't understand that about Pusha T. He is one of those people who he don't really care about how you feel, because he already has his life already set. This is what it is. Either you're gonna roll or you ain't gonna roll. One or the other.
That's a dangerous man. Now, I'm not saying that's a man that's going to automatically beat you, but that when you go up against somebody that ain't got nothing to lose in the situation, I'm not going to lose no money. I'm not going to lose no social standing. I'm going to keep being who I was. I'm not going to lose a meal. My family not going to lose a quality of life. You be very careful when you decide to go toe-to-toe with somebody like that. You be very careful, because most of us do have things to lose. Most of us do need public favor in order to make money of it. Most of us do need relationships and friends, and not to burn bridges with people in order to sustain certain qualities of life. I don't think that brother operate like that. And when somebody, and there's a freedom that comes in writing when you don't, let me tell you something. There's a difference when you make music because you have to, as opposed to because you want to.
Yeah. Yo, that is a fact. Yo, it is a big difference when you make music because you really, really, really want to. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. I think a lot of people don't understand that. When you make music because you want to make the music, it sounds different. It comes off different. It just, the feel is different. This is why these Pusha, these clip songs are so good, because they don't have to make music. They doing it because they want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a feel. Well, then again, sometimes when you have to do something and when your back's against the wall, you actually produce something great. I'm not gonna say that, but the likelihood of you doing, when you have to do something, sometimes people don't really like it. They don't enjoy it. And he's enjoying everything he's doing.
There's a difference. There's a freedom that comes with that. There's a confidence that comes with that. Because you're not thinking, "Ooh, what if so-and-so, what if these people are Pitchfork,
what if it don't get
what
no
if Pitchfork don't put me on the list," and all of this type of stuff. What if Apple don't put me on the playlist, or I don't get on the Spotify playlist, or all of these things. Some people don't, that's not contingent on them eating at night. For most of us, it's absolutely a part of it. is an unavoidable part of it. But I don't think he operated in that space. So I think he is willing to just throw caution to the wind and be like, you know what, I don't really fuck with him anyway. And they not lose. They don't. Push is not. You don't see Push at award shows. You don't see him at clubs and parties.
Nope.
They don't mix like that. They mix with their own. And they pretty good in the streets as well. So it's whatever. That being said, Travis ain't about to back down. Travis ain't about to back down. He's from Houston. He got.
So you think Travis coming back? Travis gonna come back with a verse on
I
his
wouldn't
own?
be surprised if you hear something before the weekend's done.
All right, so I don't know how good Travis Scott is when it comes to actually dissing people, because I'm so used to him doing what he does in a certain way. But there's one thing you have to understand about rappers. What's his name? Flow Rider. Flow Rider is actually a really good rapper. And I mean, he's really good. He's very good when it comes to lyrics. But you wouldn't know that because he makes all these different type of songs. So you never know. So I put Travis Scott in the same category as Flow Rider, Pitbull, what's the boy name with the goatee? The boy, what's his name? Tech Nine. I put them in the same category, even though people say, well, Travis is more like turn up, but to me, he's party turn up. I put him in that category, right? I'm not putting it past that Travis Scott can actually rap, like really rap. I ain't never hear him really rap before. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all, but I'm not putting it past that he can't rap. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna side with what I know, and I know that Pusha T is a very dangerous man. I don't think Travis Scott stands a chance. However, I am open to be wrong. I'm open to be wrong because we're talking about rappers, and if Travis Scott is from that cloth, if he makes good songs like that, 9 times out of 10 he actually probably can make raps too. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, when people can do certain things with beats or whatever, they actually can rap too. They just don't choose to do that. So, we'll see though.
It's either go into it or act like it didn't happen. But the problem is that the people are going to demand a response. When these beefs happen, you have to respond. The code is you can't I'm gonna be the biggest man. I'm just gonna let it go. Hey, like water off a duck's back. I'm just gonna let it go. Not if that ain't been a part of your character all this time. You know what I'm saying? You can't be walking around with gloves on waiting for somebody to time up and then turn down the first fight you get. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So I've been around Travis enough to know that no, he's not finna take that line down. He's absolutely not going to allow his public perception to be played with like that.
I agree. But I never seen Travis Scott. I mean, I'm gonna put it to you like this. This is just my opinion. If Travis Scott responds to Pusha T, he's a sucker, and I'm gonna explain to y'all why. There was a scene where Drake set his head, Travis Scott's amiibo or whatever it is, he set that joint on fire right in front of everybody in concert, and that was Travis Scott. There's no way in the world you telling me that you will respond to Pusha T basically having a problem with you, basically calling you out on your shit. What would you say? But this dude Drake, he was going off on you, and he tried to sleep with your girl, and he probably did, and all this stuff, and you will lose that battle to Pusha T, bro. You would lose that battle. You will lose because number one, you got too much dirt, and he basically warned you about what he just said. He warned you, basically saying you a whore. You go around and do all these things for all these other people, but yet and still, You was hiding that shit from us, bro, and you act like you was cool with us. So I don't know, man. He had to really rap his way out of this one.
You got to be careful when people try to bait you in.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You got to be very careful.
Cause this Pusha is a diss artist. He got one of the best diss. You know, he went at Drake.
He operates in this space. This is not new to him. This is not a problem for him, and he don't answer to people in that way. Not saying that Travis answered to people, but Travis got a fan base that's huge, like international, millions and millions of people around the world who have bought into Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's why he got them collabs with Nike,
and he's got the relationship with Louis Vuitton as well, with Adidas, all these kinds of things.
Audemars.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to happen, and it's not going to look. We've only heard 2 songs, and he did somebody on both songs. It's not over. I think there's a couple of more targets.
Damn.
I think there's a couple of more targets.
So he wrote a diss album.
There's no telling who Pusha don't like for whatever reason, and there's no telling if he's going to decide to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? He's not a quiet guy. He's not a quiet guy. He's not a scary guy. He's not easily pushed around. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. So it's going to be interesting to watch how this play out. It really is. Because Travis is either going to have to ignore it or go all in.
Wow.
That's the only way.
Yeah, if he goes all in, then I don't see him making it out. I mean, his fans are going to still love him, but you are Travis Scott. I don't think he's not a Drake to me, but he's another guy at the top that people like Pusha T, Kendrick is really doesn't feel like they represent the culture. And he's another one that Pusha T probably wants to take down. So you imagine Drake got taken down, now Travis Scott getting taken down. Yeah, it's looking bad for y'all some of y'all artists out here that y'all successful artists out here, man. They coming for y'all. They coming for y'all, man. Oh my God, they coming.
These things work. Because I don't Pusha's a guy, I said what I said and I'm done kind of a thing. So if there's more slugs to be shot, it's gonna be at more rappers. It won't be multiple shots at 1 or 2 people. If he's jumping off the porch,
so he got a hit.
If he's jumping off the porch, he's gonna jump all the way off the porch, not 2 steps down. He's gonna be in some grass. He
ain't looking to get off and get back on. He gonna stay off the porch. He off.
I like this stuff, man. It keeps raps fun. It keeps it fresh, and it reminds people to not get comfortable. That's the one thing I like about rap.
As long as it stays on wax,
that's fine. And I don't think these guys move in the same.
Well, when people say as long as it stays on wax, I respect that 100%. I do. However, I think that we got to get out of that mind state that beefs are taken off of wax. And I know he has to remind people of this, and I commend him for that, for reminding people that this should always stay on wax. And I will double down on that too. But I think that we have to get past that point where we feel like hip-hop is violent when it comes to this. Now, I understand people might say, well, bro, it is. But think about it. If we keep on putting that out there, we're never gonna move past it. You know what I'm saying? We have to basically acknowledge it by not acknowledging it anymore. I think if we keep on reminding people that it's not, it just keeps that thing festering over our head. We just need to just keep it moving, move as if there's nothing gonna happen. These 2 artists ain't gonna do nothing to each other. They just speaking about it. Now I understand that big money is at play with some of these artists. So some people do feel some type of way, but I mean, so I agree.
Social circles to where they camps would ever really kind of be. When people are aware of these things, right? So
they try to avoid each other.
It's not even them. Promoters, the smart promoters, will try to avoid that. Most people's teams won't allow them to be booked in the same place anyway. Because you'd have to be a messy promoter to try to book, like Drake and Kendrick at the same festival. Drake's people, not because only one can close, right? So
right. And both of them feel they
right.
they bring the house down.
This promoter is not going to get into that, or their representation is not going to allow them to be pulled into that type of thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how many people he did on his album and how those people respond, because rap demands a response now, because like I talked about the equipment, music equipment and all that stuff is so much cheaper. The technology is cheaper. So you ain't got to wait and book no studio. Most of these dudes are multi-millionaires. They got a studio at the crib.
That's a fact. And they got studio on a tour bus. People literally got studios on a tour bus. Like, for real. They got studios at the crib. These dudes work all day. People got studios at their house. I'm talking like they have a full-blown studio with an engineer right at the house. They don't even go to. They don't need to go to a lot of these studios to spend all this money. See, if I was ever an artist, that'd be the first thing I would invest in, is my own studio. And I would invest in an engineer who wants to partner with me, and he get paid, and that's it. That's what I would do if I was an artist. But a good portion of these artists, they get money and they just don't think about that. They all got to go to the studio. Build your own studio. You get $500,000. You know what I'm saying? You could take 100,000 of that and go build your own studio. And you can make money off of your studio because you'll have people coming in and getting renting from you. So I don't know.
We can go in and make something about this right now, or hold it back.
But do you think we're gonna see more of this because of the success that Kendrick had with his shot that he took at Drake? And you look at what it parlayed into. He got the Super Bowl. He got 5 Grammys. He's selling out the most. I think $14 million in one show. All of his shows with SZA is selling out. Are we heading down a path where people see that this is a way that, okay, we saw what Kendrick did, let's take this road?
You got to bring ass to kick ass. So I would not recommend people think that that's how that goes, that you did somebody and jump out there. No, that's not how that works. First of all, you got to be more talented than the other person. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick is one of the single most talented writers we have, one of the deepest thinkers that we have. So going up against everybody ain't going to be your forte. You know what I'm saying?
He spit facts. Oh my God. Yo, that's a fact. He's spitting facts. Listen, that's 100% facts. Just because you diss people don't mean you're going to be where Kendrick's at. No. You have to understand, Kendrick and Drake war was going on for over 10 years. And it finally came to where they actually fight. They fought. It's like two prize fighters fighting finally. Like Floyd and Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Like finally. But it's not the same if you just diss somebody. But you have to have the talent. And I think Pusha T does have the talent. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody ain't built to be dissed. I don't know if people understand that. Everybody's not built for public humiliation. You know what I'm saying? Like some people will overthink those things. And I've never fought everybody that I knew I could beat up.
You get no satisfaction.
I don't get no points. I don't get no credit. You know what I'm saying? It's a weaker person. So punching down is not going to work. And everybody can't punch up. So somebody's got to lose. So again, it all goes back to, yeah, you can engage in this stuff and it'll be fun and you'll get some streams or whatever, but somebody's going to lose. And can you afford to lose in those spaces? I feel like Pusha can. I don't think being popular changes anything for him. You know what I'm saying? He's always been a unique taste. Like he's made street music and they've had commercial success, but they've never toured in that way, right? They aren't dependent on the other parts of the machine that everyone else is solely dependent on. Because we don't have somebody like Pharrell who's, always going to produce everything we do. So we know we're getting a hit record, who's always going to have his hands into some major cultural happenings. You know what I'm saying? So we'll always be a part of it. It's always doing these huge deals. So we'll always be in this position of financial benefit. working with him. So all this other shit ain't nothing. We just having fun. I believe this is very, very fun for Pusha because there's no threat to anything.
Yeah, man. That was great, man. That was very well said, man. I'm glad I watched that. That was very well said. He put his foot in that. I agree. I 100% agree. I definitely think that Pusha T doesn't have anything to lose. I think people like Travis Scott, he has a lot to lose, and I think that he don't really want to go back and forth with him. But according to BUN B, definitely going to respond. So we'll be waiting for that. We'll be waiting for that. So all right, I'll see y'all on the next one. Torture Talk After Hours. Peace, bye.